We're talking Knowing the Law, and we have Ruben Rendon from Rendon and Associates joining us now. How are you doing today?
Just fine, thank you.
Good. Let's talk about work-related injuries and, of course, the law behind that. Why should an injured worker actually need to look for an attorney?
Well, the workers' comp system in Texas is very complicated, and it is, in my opinion, skewed in favor of the insurance companies. And the first thing I always tell all the workers is the insurance companies are not your friends. They're not out to look out for you. They're out to make money. And making money for them is not what most workers need when they get hurt on the job. They need medical care and they need income replacement, and that's not what an insurance company wants to hear.
Yeah, of course, you may be overwhelmed by not knowing, and you know that's where someone like you and your associates really would come in handy to really explain this to an injured worker.
Well, that's true, and of course the workers make the mistake of thinking that if they get hurt on the job that they're going to be dealing with their employer regarding their injuries, and they're not. They're dealing with an insurance company, doesn't know them from Adam and could care less about them because they don't even know them. They don't know whether they were a good worker, a bad worker, or whatever, and that's a mistake a lot of workers make.
And what about if an injured worker has a claim kind of denied, I guess? Can you help them with that?
Well, oh, sure. I mean, that's obviously why we're there. I mean, that's the main reason that clients come to you is because they've had something denied, either medical care or their income benefits or the whole claim altogether. So that's mainly it. That's it in a nutshell.
And you would get it overturned, then I guess.
Well, that's our goal. Our goal is to get it overturned. But I mean, you know, you have to be realistic. The Houston Chronicle published an article over the weekend where they did an investigation and found out that in Texas, workers win only 30% of the time when they have hearings in front of state hearing officers. That is not good. You have to ask yourself, I mean, you know, really, you can only win 70% of the time. I mean, you can only win 30% of the time. So you have to be careful. I mean, this system is not geared for workers.
Speaking of being careful, whenever you're told that you can return to work, maybe, and you're still injured, how can you help them in that way?
Well, obviously, the most important thing there is you got to know who the doctors are. You've got to be able to help people get the appropriate care, because after all, it's appropriate care. You know, to treat an injury. I haven't had a client. I have maybe 1 out of 100 that when they come into the office tell me that they don't want to go back to work. You know, 99% of them want to. I want to get better. I want to go back to work. This workers' comp system is a hassle. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yes.
And what that takes is appropriate care. But many times those insurance companies, for some reason, don't understand that. That, you know, if you give adequate care at the beginning, then chances are the guy can get back or woman can get back to go into work. And that's what they want.
Exactly, a smoother process that way. And what if someone is watching, of course, they have questions, they need you, how can they contact you?
We have an office in Nederland for this area. They can contact us at our Nederland office, and we're more than happy to talk to them.
Great, thank you, Mr. Rendon. We appreciate your information. Stay with us, we'll be right back.